my mom said she knew someone that grew like old with her husband, and she was always trusting and all of that. And one day the man came home and said, "Oh, I've been keeping something from you, and I have to let you know I have a child outside."
You're not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And at this point, all their children are grown ups, and then he brings a baby girl. The woman went straight into stroke. How do you think somebody can navigate through that kind? Because
sometimes some people do not navigate through it. It's that hard, because imagine putting your time invested, every part of you to that person.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even tell me when it started happening.
How you tell her?
Yes.
You made me brag about the love.
You made me tell myself things about because someone is not special until you tell yourself that this person is special.
Yes.
Literally, if you don't tell yourself, oh, this person is special, sometimes there's literally nothing in that person.
Yes, you are the one that is believing that.
You're the one believing that person is
I
special.
like your smile.
I like your smile. I like you. I like your hairline. I like your nails. I like how you look or dress. It is you that's thinking that way. So it is never easy. And I'm like, why would someone? That you literally lack empathy. Because you cannot just tell me apology will solve that.
Yes.
Now she went into stroke. Now she went into stroke. So now what is he going to say?
A lot of people say my chest hurts after a heartbreak, or I almost feel physically sick. And surprisingly, doctors say that can actually happen.
And honestly, that raises a very big question. Do people underestimate how dangerous emotional pain can be?
Welcome back to the KNTV talk show. I'm your host, Omar Hasna Khadija, and my co-host,
Ayabami Ibrahim. And today we are discussing grief, trauma, heartbreaks, and how these experiences can affect people mentally, emotionally, and even physically.
And we have a guest joining us today to help us unpack some of this conversation and to give us her perspective on the topic. And before we begin, I want you to please introduce yourself and tell us a little about what you do.
I am Sadifu Zafira Gbedojo, and I am the customer sales representative of Leaked Offers.
Now you be like, gang, 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 gang.
Thank you so much for being here, Zafira.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of stories about people who get hospitalized or who even die due to heartbreak or grief, or they develop anxiety symptoms that almost look like a heart attack. Why do you think emotional pain affects the body so deeply?
A whole lot of people think that emotions are just inward, like an inward thing, but it's a whole lot more. It's way deeper than anyone can think. You could literally cry, and then you would feel the pain that, okay, yes, you cried, or something happened. Or it could get over time that, okay, yes, the thing that happened that caused you pain has passed, but your body cannot still forget how that thing made you feel. It's still like, it's just like grief. Heartbreak goes deeper. People think it's all about relationships. It's all about it's just people based on relationship. Even online, when you go to social media, they'll ask somebody, "Oh, why are you going? What's wrong with you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm going through a heartbreak. Why? Because of a man." So they could ask someone or a guy now, what happened? He would say, "Oh, my heart got broken by a girl." Well, heartbreak it can be with friendships. It can be with losing someone, losing a friend, losing a family member. It's just all around. It's just something that must happen. It happens in life. It's not something you can avoid. No matter how much you try to think, oh, heartbreak is just in relationship, it's way more deep. People do not think about it as something that should be looked on, but it is very necessary they pay attention to it, because whenever someone goes through heartbreak, sometimes they have thoughts of doing things to themselves that are not even, they're not meant to be, things they're not supposed to be thinking about. It brings those thoughts to them, and they need people to be there for them, but social media shames them, or people or their friends be like, Anna, it's because of that boy, it's not that serious now, go and rest, you're trying to chase clout or something. But it's not like that. They need to be paid attention to, they need to be cared for, treated nicely, so that they could get themselves back.
But do you think social media romanticizes heartbreak too much? Or be like, oh, last we chop breakfast, or like it's like now a normal thing, like even that
People,
relationship.
yeah,
that
social
students
media,
break up.
that social media has made it like that, yeah. And then it's not like a stereotype.
Yeah.
There are people that, and you cannot swipe on TikTok or on Twitter and you will not see something relating to, oh, my heart got broken by this boy, my heart got broken by this girl.
Yeah.
It is just there. And then even people that are in a healthy relationship, whenever they see all these things, they're like, oh man. And then it's not make them to want to stop doing things they normally do for their partner, because they've already seen that, oh, this person did this, or this person went to this level for this person, but now look at the end of it. So,
but what do you think? The word you use, romanticized.
Yeah.
I can understand like your perspective for why you asked that question, but why don't we look at it in a different light? People who come online to talk about them heartbreak stories and stuff like that, and the reason why you guys are seeing it a lot, can't we see it in a perspective of, okay, I think that people are finally coming out and
it is there, but you will see a whole lot of people coming online to, they're not trying to like talk about their own heartbreak, they're trying to just put it out there. Like some people might not even experience heartbreak, not in any form, but you see them posting, last you go chop breakfast, that boy go break your heart, they've never experienced it. Those ones are not, those are the people that romanticize it, that they try to make everybody feel so uncomfortable about the idea of love, or about the idea of grieving, or about the idea of having heartbreak through friendship. They just make it so difficult. But people who come out genuinely to talk about their story, or how it made them feel, or what they did to heal or leave that old thought or feeling, even though it never gets over, you never forget it, but at least you need to heal from it. That's just it. So it's understandable on that perspective, but people who just come out to just talk, they've never experienced it. Those are the people that just make social media like way uncomfortable, toxic.
Thank you very much for that.
Okay, so Zafira, now the main reason why we're having this conversation is because from some of the research that has been made, they've come out to say that heartbreak literally kills. Like, you can die from getting your heart broken. And just like you said, like, heartbreak doesn't need to be like from romantic love, or it can also be from friendships and family ties. So what do you think about that, about heartbreak being so bad that it can kill?
Just the way they would say stress can break down a person's body. You see some people getting paralyzed, one part of their body will stop working, not because of their stress hormone is very, very high. So when someone goes through heartbreak, it's not just about the crying, it's not just about the headaches, it's not just about the sleeplessness. Like, all those things will cause a whole lot of stress in their body, which would lead to another thing that you will not even be like, oh, is it because of this? It's like, you would not even, like, especially in Nigeria, we do not pay attention to a whole lot of things. So we would think, oh, nah lie. Like, you hear Nigerians be like, nah lie. Like, no, this thing caused this thing. Like, they will try to reach to move on. But it kills actually. It makes people, like, some people, they just go short, like they are out of the world, they hide themselves, they do things to themselves, like they cause harm to themselves till when death comes their way, or they try to even kill themselves. It is way more than we think, or people don't take it seriously, and it would be very nice people pay attention to it. It is something that needs to be cared, like it's part of mental health, basically.
Definitely.
It's part of mental health. So it should be something that, okay, now when someone comes to you or comes to confide in you, I'm going through a heartbreak, please, you do not shame them. Don't make them feel judged. They should. It's free will comes with, like, I'm able to speak my mind, I'm able to tell you that this is how I feel. You should not make them feel stupid, even though it doesn't make sense to you. You have to listen and care for that person.
So, Miss Safira, so have you ever experienced heartbreak? And what was it like for your own personal experience? Did you almost land in the hospital?
Like we said, heartbreak is not just about relationship. It's losing family or a friend. So I have losing my family members or a friend that I've lost. It felt like I was going to die. Like, my chest, it was so tight, and my panic attacks started getting worse after all these things happened. Even up to today, sometimes I would literally, like, a scent they used to use, I would perceive them like, oh, it reminds me of them, or I would see their pictures. No matter, it took me time to even delete their numbers from my phone. It was that bad. If sometimes I would even be scared of going out, just not to like see someone that knows them, to not bring up, oh, like, you know the way Nigerians would be like, I'm so sorry, how are you, like, I don't, because that has come, like, no, why
is it even like that?
I don't know why it's like that. It's so annoying. So I tried avoiding people. It's this year I told myself that I need to stop. I need to bring myself out more because I can't just keep being in this. It's not going to help me in any way. It's just going to make me lose. Like I said, losing weight. Like even though I'm eating or trying to, I lost appetite. Sometimes I would not be able to eat. I would have to force myself, or have to distract myself, or have to go and do, like, literally just think. I tried being positive. Sometimes it was hard. I was suicidal, but I scaled through literally. Even though like I didn't really have friends that were there too, because my friends they're nonchalant, and they're the kind of people that feel like mental health should be taken serious. Like, why are you reacting in such a way that then they won't cry? They'll take it. So it was more like I had to work on myself. Even at some point I had to join therapy. I journaled more. I tried my very best to like let go of the feelings. Well, it's a gentle process. It's not, you can't rush it. Sometimes you wake up feeling you can't do this today, but you just have to try.
That was so beautiful.
Thank you so much
for sharing that. I think that it's so important that we talk about things like this. I hate
There should be like
Nigerians
open space.
They don't take mental health serious.
It's so annoying because a lot of times when you tell people that
and then you don't see them shaming people for posting.
Oh no, they often think you're overreacting about it. And then when you start, leaning backwards and start, downplaying something that you're actually going to, something that like, deeply affects you, it starts affecting you.
That's why I tell people that be yourself. If you're the type that you like crying to ease your pain, or it just makes you feel better, or you have to go sit outside or do so, like, do not listen to anybody because they don't know how it's making you feel. If something happens to you now, all they'll say is she should have spoken up
exactly
now. My condolences, I'm sorry, may I so rest in peace, or may so rest. It's if you like, post about it a million times.
Yeah, I'm actually like,
it is fine.
Personally, when I see people post all those kind of things on their statuses, like depressed shit, I'll just be like, why is this person posting this kind of thing? But sometimes it comes to mind that, okay, this person is just trying to, although WhatsApp is not the platform to come and all this, the depression.
There's a different kind of that when you see it, you will be okay. Yeah.
People misuse it.
What are we going to do for you? Just like you said, if you want to stay outside and cry. If you want to take a walk, take a walk.
If you want to look at the trees, do that.
Do whatever works for you.
If you think
have you guys actually been on TikTok and then maybe you see somebody posting, okay, I lost this person, like, and stuff like that, or okay, I think maybe I have ADHD, and then you go to the comments, everybody I have ADHD.
There's this main thing Nigerians we talk about. They're like, Nigerians don't feel have ADHD or OCD. Like when they see things relating to mental health, they're like, no Nigerian can do that. The way we suffer or the way we endure things, that Nigerians do not have to witness that. I'm like, we can literally silence us. We can. Okay, they think it's just the whites. They think it's only them that can feel pain, that can be like,
a lot of reasons why black people don't necessarily agree with all these words, because they feel like, regardless of the fact that it's already generic, like they are naming every single thing. That's like the main
and during their time they do not name it, like they just leave it, they exist with it and try to know.
So
how
a lot of people are like, because she has headache now, that's a migraine. Which one is migraine? Why does that need to have a name? And I don't know, sometimes I believe that having a name or having like a term for something like helps you understand more of what it is.
You know better on how to handle it, or how to like care for yourself better in situations that are hard or tough.
But sometimes when people are going through those kind of things, you see them, just like I said, they start posting on their WhatsApp status. Then I've seen TikTok videos where people are crying on, and then people will be like, how can you set camera to cry?
There's this
I don't think I can actually do. If I'm actually depressed and I'm going through shit, I don't think I would actually set camera to cry.
Do you know there's this lady that I know whenever she's sad or something, she wants to ease herself, she has, not like she posts them, she has videos of herself crying or saying things, like she just talks to her camera or record, like as if she's conversing with herself, because people around, she's scared of having to go talk to this person, and then this person is like, now everybody's going through shit. Everybody's saying you'll be fine. You are going to, like, toxic positivity. That's literally what Nigerians pass to each other.
That's what.
And it's like it is not even necessary at all. Sometimes when I see people coming to give me talks, I'm like, shh.
I don't need
it. Thank you.
That's why most people are turning to ChatGPT for their confidence.
And then you now imagine, and then they now still judge them for going to ChatGPT. Yes, AI is doing your work.
Yeah, and AI will not criticize me.
Not at all. So let everybody in their life.
ChatGPT is my therapist, my best friend.
Before you check my ChatGPT, you have just unalive me.
I can let you. Go through my gallery and all, but me and my ChatGPT were best of friends.
I'm telling you.
Thank you so much for that. But do you think that some non-romantic heartbreaks hurt more than even like boyfriend and girlfriend relationship and all that?
See, I have had to go through friendship heartbreak, and I will tell you it is way more than whatever happens in a relationship. Like whenever you leave that relationship, they're still the ones that are going to be there. You guys have gone through stages that even the relationship, you've not even had to witness those kind of things. Like being friends with people, it's deeper than I value friendships than the idea of sorry to say, I do hate the male gender, so sorry to say, but like I like good men. I would not criticize a good man, never, but I would always choose my friends. I would always choose my friends, and it hurts more whenever my friends are doing something to me. A man, literally, a man can be doing shit to me. I'm like,
and you'd be like, is it not your
gender? When it comes to my friends, I'm like, no. I will try to communicate. I will try to like, okay, what's wrong? Can we solve this? If I am wrong, I'll try to apologize.
All those chances you are giving to men, give it to your female friends.
Give it.
Next question.
To your female friends today.
Because trust me, when that man leaves, it's just going to be you, and that's why it's not good for you to be in a relationship where a man is telling you, oh, I don't like this girl you're going out, or maybe you get married, you start cutting off your single friends, or you're for you.
Unless the friends
are actually
weird.
Exactly, that one is understandable. A man can tell you, oh, this your friend, do this person,
like who are you even to tell me
to
like,
not mingle
I can
with
understand
someone,
being concerned about me, but it's when it's like, oh, okay, this your friend, is this your friend? I'm like, I don't understand.
No right.
Who are you?
Unless it says that okay, their impact is stressing you or weighing you down, then I'm like, what do you like? See, I don't see this thing working for you, and this is the right thing I think you should do. It's fine giving opinion, but you coming to tell the girl that I do not want you to be hanging around or going to this place. It's not necessary because she can't tell you to not to go to this place and you will not go.
Exactly.
You would feel the autonomy, like, oh, I'm the boss here. So so let's see, like, let's all be fair to each other. Let's not be unfair. That what you know you can't tell me to do. So it's just as simple as that.
And another thing that is another crazy thing about this heartbreak it's also called broken heart syndrome, where like intense emotional stress can temporarily like seize your heart from like beating.
Sometimes I pass out from it. It's that bad. It's just as if something is holding your breath from that moment, and then I try to make myself breathe or be comfortable. Sometimes I just have to sit where there's air for me to get myself back. It's crazy.
Whenever you're in that state, has someone ever tried sending you like a huge credit alert?
40,000 I'm rich.
To see how you resurrect.
I feel like if somebody does that at this point, I resurrect. My brain will come back.
Because I feel like this thing you explain, I only have it when I'm broke. If I'm not broke, but I will look for something to put my mind on. I'm like, let me go and buy shawarma.
Exactly. The impulsive buying gives you a breath of fresh air.
God bless you, it's fucking my mind.
Sometimes I'm like, why do I have to be a girl?
If we're being honest, just like you said, it's like a very bad thing. I was speaking to a friend like last 2 or 3 weeks back, and she's a nurse, so they took her to Kaduna hospital to go and do their stuff. Then she went to a psychiatrist home, and she said majority of the patients there are women, and majority of them went there because of broken home. Their husband left them, the husband did this to them. So they are like in that mental hospital, majority of the women there are because of men. There's a woman there that is already, she has an imaginary husband already, and imaginary kids. Like her own mental illness has gotten to a phase where it has gotten so far when you are actually thinking that this seems really rich like that. So
and if Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians who would see this or hear you say this now would be like, na lie.
Yeah, they downplay people's emotions a lot. So she going to that
until they wear that shoe.
Yeah.
And know how it fits. That's when they will know that, okay, yes, it is.
Exactly.
real.
So when she going to that place now, she's like, me, I cannot allow myself to be in this position? Or how are people getting into marriages or relationships that is bringing them to a mental
If the woman
hospital?
ever gets the opportunity to pass out
Yeah.
the info that yes, this is what happened.
To
To me, it's going to be very nice. Because they need to create a space where we can all just sit. We humans, be it the male gender or the female gender, has to sit and then like a safe space.
Do you know what? A lot of people need to learn the art of empathy. Of like empathizing with other people. You know what? I was making research very recently, and I saw that they say that the rarest form of intelligence, like people that are like intelligent, they're not the ones that have been winning Nobel prizes. They're not the ones that win math competition. The most intelligent person you ever meet is empathetic people. And it's those people that think about their own thinking.
Yes, that is very true.
People that think about their own thinking and know who they are, self-aware people. They are very, very, very
I still do not
intelligent.
like being around people who lack empathy. When people like are nonchalant, that feel like, okay, yes, I'm not supposed to be acting because of the society. You do not need to care about the society. It's toxic for you to say you lack empathy. And you are proud about it, saying it on
you are pessimistic and pessimistic. Young people that tell me they're pessimistic, I'll just look at you, and you can obviously have like, not necessarily, you can have your negative thoughts. You can be like, okay, I'm not necessarily a positive person, but you're saying outrightly that, oh, me, I just hate people, or not even hate people, or I just hate a certain thing, or hate something about something. And it's especially when you're not even like, you know, considering other people's feelings about it, right? So a lot of times when people say things like this, it really like keeps me thinking. I'm like, wait, I don't understand. Like, I think people out there genuinely just don't give a damn. Like, genuinely,
it's not like they do not give a damn. I feel like they're just being in denial sometimes. Or
there's
this
thing I saw online. The person was like, the reason I do not give empathy to people is because I've gone through hard times or sad things not to care or even know how to feel about this particular. So whenever you tell me, oh, I feel this way, I'll tell you, don't worry, you'll be over it, because I've gone through that phase and I do not even have empathy for people anymore. And I'm like, why would you say that? You need help. You need help. You shouldn't be existing around people if you lack empathy. You could literally do things to people without even thinking.
And I feel like this particular problem boils down from the older generation. You tell your parents something is wrong with you, they're already saying, is that phone in your hand?
Or when you're like, oh, I feel sick, they're like, can't take that Panadol now. And
Like, go and take
everything is
paracetamol.
paracetamol.
Do you get? They're always like maybe living in denial or not trying to accept that you are.
They try to be ignorant,
accepting your pain, that you're actually in that pain. They
feel like, oh, you're too young to be feeling this pain.
Exactly. I don't know why. So we already did.
It's a sad reality.
So there are cases whereby we've seen women being in the psychiatrist home because of heartbreak. I mean, there are stories of, oh, my husband cheated on me, and then the woman goes into depression, so he's started in the mental hospital, and those kind of. I've seen scenarios like that, like countless times. So people really downplay what happens. They'll be like, oh, men cheat all the time. Oh, men are polygamous. Oh, he just cheated. Pray for him. Don't worry, it will get better. And just like that. You don't know what that does to someone. Someone has put their trust in you. You betray them. You're bringing a child home after how many years of marriage? People think trust is that they just break. When you don't break it, that's when I tell me story. All those stories. When you break a glass of cup, we'll sorry fix it back. It would definitely not that.
The fact that women are literally one of the most unrespected species in the world. Like, it's the fact that they're not even, women are not even given like the space to go say, okay, let us even make more research on our own. Like, most of the research has already been done. We can agree that men have made most of those researches, but they don't even want to, like, is it that they don't care, or what even is it that, oh, they cannot really, like, understand why some things happen to me. A lot of times, like when it comes to pregnancy, for example, and when it comes to heartbreak even, the broken heart syndrome, statistically, women experience more of grief and more of what's it called, all these issues, rather
like
than
society will
men.
say men are logical, women are emotional. We feel things a whole lot. So we are affected more. We are affected more. Whatever, like
That's why I'm like, why when a husband or a man is doing something, you have to think of how it could affect. Sometimes you don't know if it will affect her emotionally or physically or just destabilize her entirely. So no matter what you're doing, you just have to be careful because our body is very fragile. Down to period, down to giving birth. Like it's just a whole lot for the woman. Every week of the month, every day of the month, there is just something happening to a female body.
So for you to actually go out of your way and actually hurt someone or break someone's heart, and you don't even know what that is doing to that person, you legit don't like the person. You're not considerate enough to think, oh, if I do this thing, how will it take a toll on Khadija? How will it take a toll on
it's just no. If you say you care about this person, you love this person, person shouldn't be an option. Yes, shouldn't be the norm. In a society, it's the norm. It's like, oh, I met this boy that he was cheating on his girlfriend, and I asked him why. His girlfriend is beautiful, she does all this. But if he's traveling here, even sometimes when he's going to cheat on his girlfriend with like other girls here, he would tell her to pack like his clothes and be like, oh, he's going for a business. And I'm like, she does all these things. She does all these things. What do you want? She's like, we need to have fun. That is a normal thing that every man girls do. Because of these people normalize it, that is why you move back. Because tell me why you feel like it is normal for you.
And I feel like when you flip the whole narrative for them, they start acting up.
It's like, they'll be like, it's not serious.
They can't, what they do now, they can't take it. They are very hypocritical.
Yeah, I mean, we're not disputing the fact that men go through hard today. We're not disputing that because we've seen scenarios. I mean, we've never talked on the show about it that, oh, a man sponsored his wife abroad and then he's cheated and all of that. It happens. Yeah, but I feel like
no pain is minor.
It happens to women more.
And they should do their research before coming out on TikTok, like saying things. Sometimes when I come online, I'm sad because the things I see are just uncomfortable. And then it's not making me feel like, oh, this thing will happen to me.
Yeah, exactly. You start thinking that way now because it becomes
what you take in is what will impact your life. That's what people should know.
Thank you so much, Zafira, for that.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we really enjoy having you on the show. Tune in every Wednesdays and Sundays for new episodes on the KNTV Talk Show. Bye.